Hello, welcome to Oops Spoilers. This is a Those Other Girls media production. This is the first official episode of Oops Spoilers, and really, it's just going to be me. I don't think it's going to be more than 10, 15 minutes, maybe 20 minutes, and it's only going to be available mainstream on Spotify. And you'll be able to watch it, visually watch this episode. So head over to Spotify if you're seeing this clip on something, to be able to watch it visually, or you can listen to it, whichever one. But either way, here we go. I'm really just going to get into it. If you're new listening, or if this is your first time, or if you don't really understand the concept, this is a Those Other Girls media production. Those Other Girls. We are a group of ladies who are Christian and conservative, who like entertainment, who also like movies, books, TV shows, so many different things. And we are wanting to just have our own entertainment that isn't riddled with leftist propaganda, that isn't riddled with a bunch of cursing, that's not always talking about sex 24/7. And this is just our review show. This is a show where we're going to review, like I said, movies, books, TV shows, and we're going to give it a TLG score. So it'll be a score where we're talking about like the language, if there's going to be sex scenes in it, if there is like if it's actually entertaining, if the plot makes sense, are there cute guys in it, things like that. Will encompass the TLG score, and then you can make the decision if you want to watch it or not. It's up to you. So today's movie is honestly, like, this was random, spur of the moment, was not even on the, like, I tried to plan out these things, did not plan this. The day before I'm recording this, I was actually at home, my plans fell through. So I decided, I was like, you know what, I'll just stay in and watch a movie. And I saw like a trailer for this movie called Not Okay. And I saw a trailer for this movie called Not Okay. And I was like, you know what, it looks interesting. Let me see what it's about. And I watched it last night and I was like, okay, must discuss. A lot of things that happen in this movie that are just, wow, okay, type of things. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to read you the description of the movie. So according to IMDb, and I think I'll always stick with the description. This is also the first episode, so, you know, help listen through the kinks. So I think this will be so I think we'll always use IMDb to read the description because they're kind of like the go-to movie thing. So it's only available on Hulu, by the way. So here's the description. It's also in the comedy/drama section, which is kind of funny. An ambitious young woman finds followers and fame when she poses as a survivor of a deadly attack, but she soon learns that online notoriety comes with a terrible price. It's an hour and 40 minutes. It's rated R, which I'm not quite sure why. There was like one like sexual scene, and there wasn't any, like, blood and guts and violence, but I'll explain why in a second. Why I think it could have been rated R. So if you have not seen this already, go ahead and, like, and you don't want to hear any spoilers, and go ahead and, like, exit out, like, get out of this. Because, oops, spoilers. Here we go. So the movie starts off surrounding this girl. And what's so crazy is, like, I think the point is she's, like, so boring, basic, and unmemorable. I cannot even remember this girl's name. I don't remember it. Like, that's how, like, she fit perfectly. Dani is her name. Which is crazy, because Dani is such a cute name for a girl, but did not remember it. So, it starts off with Dani, and, like, we get the sense that she's kind of, like, fake, or trying too hard. That's the perfect way to. She's trying too hard. So she's saying all of these like Gen Z sayings. She is in an elevator with two people who are LGBT, and they're going to a get together, and she wants to be invited. And I think she says something like, "Oh, I'm I kissed a girl once, something like that. We're all a little bi, or something along those lines. And, you just get the sense that, like, she's kind of, like, trying too hard. She's kind of a loser. She's not really getting a lot of good clicks at her job. She works at a magazine where she does articles. So you're getting the sense that and her personality, to me, just seems like someone who's kind of, like, going with the flow, like, trying too hard and, like, okay, these are the people I'm around, so I'm going to adapt to their personality. And we all know somebody like this in real life. We all do. And anyway, so that's Dani. And so Dani, one day, it's a really cute guy. Okay, it's Dylan O'Brien. And I've never been like I thought Dylan O'Brien is handsome, but I've never, like, oh my goodness, he has, like, blonde hair and, like, his beard is, like, black. And I'm like, oh my goodness. If you go to Life Is Not Pal, my Instagram stories, I think I posted pictures. I'm like, I've never been, like, this attracted to him. He looks so good. But he's, like, this, like, social influencer, like, really cool and everything, like, ooh, like, cool guy. And she runs into him, and he's smoking the marijuana. And and she, like, takes a hit from it, and it's a lot. So then she goes home. So also, too, she has a crush on him. So she's, like, trying to, like, get with him and everything. So she goes home. And when she gets home, she decides that she tells him that she's going to Paris to be at a writer's retreat. So when she gets home, she's like, oh my God, I told him I'm going to be in Paris at a writer's retreat. So she ends up photoshopping and faking it, which has happened before. Like, there have been times where they found, like, these travel influencers have, like, faked their travel life and everything. So that's what she did. She faked it. She was taking pictures, and her Instagram likes were going up. People were like, oh, that's so cool. She told her parents. Her parents thought she was in France. Well, the Paris attacks happened. I'm guessing it was the same ones that happened in 2015. I guess that's when this movie takes. Well, no, maybe it's just like a regular. I hate to say it, like a regular terrorist attack, which I feel like it's becoming, like, common in our society. Anyway, so these things happen. So she's like, oh my God, and she wakes up and everyone's blowing up her phone, like, oh my goodness, are you okay? Are you okay? Oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Her mom called her, her babysitter's mom called her, child babysitter's mom, something like that, called her. So everybody's like, oh my God, is she okay? She's okay. Everybody's freaking out. Well, she's in Paris. She has to act like she was there. Homegirl goes to the airport when I think it's probably, like, the first flight out of Paris gets there. And she is greeted by her mom. Her dad is, like, a weepy mess. I will say, like, that is, like, a ding against it. Like, I don't know. Men can cry, not against that at all. But, like, he was just, like, it was, like, weird, like, how weepy of a mess he was. And the mom was just, like, super. So that felt a little like, okay. So that's a ding against it. So then, long story short, I won't, like, that's, like, to give you, like, the background. Like, she, loser weirdo girl, tells a cute guy that's an influencer that she's going to be in Paris, pretends to be in Paris. Paris has a bomb thing. She fakes that she was there. She starts doing all these things. She ends up going to a support group with a girl who was a part of a school shooting. And I think this is where it kind of becomes like, that's why it might have been rated R, because of just, like, the intense conversations. Because, I mean, whether we don't have to necessarily agree at this moment about, like, what needs to be done, but we can all say that, like, school shootings are awful, they're terrible, and they're traumatic. And, you know, this podcast is not about to go into that, but it's really sad. And, like, even, like, well, I'll get there in a second. So she meets this girl who's in a school shooting, and she ends up being a speaker. She's like, the girl who shaves her head. She started a group. She's, like, speaking out against gun violence, public speaking and everything. And she still has some trauma that she's working through. And she does, not rapping, spoken word and everything. So she develops a friendship with her. Well, the girl is so thirsty for attention. I think that's why she's, like, an unlikable and an annoying character. And I think they did that on purpose. She's like a caricature. They're, like, overshowing this type of person, because we all know someone who is like this, who is probably faking a little bit of aspect of their life. We know someone who wants attention so badly. So she comes back and her boss is like, finally, like, recognized, like, oh my goodness, I'm so glad you're okay. Everybody's like, oh, you're back, blah, blah. And she says, like, she wants to write an article about the experience, her experience. So she wants the girl that was in the school shooting to help her with that. So they develop a friendship, they help her with it, and the girl with the school shooting has thousands of followers. She reposts the article and starts to hashtag I am not okay, which, you know, I think that was very poignant, I guess is the right word, too, because, I mean, we do have hashtags like that. We do have things like that, experiences like that, where we are all going through something, and then, like, I don't know, and I like the idea of it's okay to say that you're not okay. You shouldn't sit in it. I think that's something where, you know, society kind of like, okay, you admit that, that's good, that's the first step to recovery, but, like, you gotta, what you gonna do with that, you know? Anywho, so that happens. She does the hashtag I'm not okay, so she goes viral. I mean, she is, like, super popular. Everybody's like, oh my goodness, you're great. So the guy that she's interested in starts to, like, show some liking to her and invites her to this party. So this also, too, like, parental advisory notice about this part. So she goes to this influencer party, and the guy is, like, really into her, and is like, hey, do this, blah, blah. And he's like, yeah, if you want me to, like, if you're ever not okay, I want you to know that, like, I'm here for you. Crazy things like that. So he's doing all that, and then, okay, so he's saying all that stuff. They get to the party, and then there's a part where they end up having sex. And she has to get a plan B. So Nick's there. Y'all know how we feel about plan B over here. And then also, so they, like, have sex in the bathroom at a party. Like, trashy, not a good thing. But then, like, when she goes off to get the plan B, she's like, okay, I'm going to go off and I'm going to get this plan B. And then she's texting him, like, hey, I got the plan B. Like, what do you want to do now? Blah, blah, blah. And then she sees, on his Instagram story that he's with other girls, like, taking pictures with them and, like, oh, hey. So then she's like, okay, this guy's a jerk. Because he just had sex with her. And had enough sex with her in a certain type of way that she had to get plan B, and now he's, like, with other girls, going to another party or something like that. So, tells all you need to know there. So then, long story short, she teams up. There's a couple other things happen, but this is where it's about to, like, while all of this is happening, there is one of her coworkers is low-key jealous. At the beginning, you can tell there's, like, some tension. And the coworker is, like, acting very suspicious. Very, very suspicious. And asking her all of these, like, a little bit more, quote-unquote, fact-checking questions, like, oh, where was this held at? What all did you see? So that's going on. So, I actually, like, teared up a little at this part. Well, they are going to do a rally. And, Dani, the main character, and Rowan, the girl who was in the school shooting, and they are going to the rally. They have to take a car, and it's, like, tight security, because, like, let's be honest, like, there's crazies on both sides. We are not going to sit there and act like they're not. There's crazies on both sides. Yeah, so they're, you know, in this van. They get there, they get up there, and they start to speak, and then people who are crazy, that are crazy, throw firecrackers at them. Well, this to me, it was just so sad. I think she did a really good job acting this personally. So this girl who was just in a school shooting, she, like, shuts down, like, the security grabs her and, like, runs off, and she's, like, essentially having, like, a really big anxiety panic attack. And because Dani didn't really she wasn't there for the bombing, she didn't react the same way, because she doesn't have the same, like, emotional, like, she was at home when that happened. So the girl has, like, a panic. It's really, to me, it's a sad moment. I cried a little bit. And then she time passes a little bit more, and the coworker that was suspicious of her, the coworker goes and figures out that she faked it and was like, you either tell everyone or I'm going to tell everyone. You have X amount of time. So she writes an article confessing it. And then that's when everyone, like, snaps. Everyone flips on her, says she's this and that. She lost her apartment. She had to move in back with her parents. Her dad was getting death threats, all this and that. So she knew she had to apologize to the girl who actually went through things, because they had become really good friendship. She had used help her put her platform up. She knew she had to apologize to her. So she wrote down an apology. She went to the spoken word thing. The girl did a spoken word about her. And it was essentially, like, she was, like, not accepting the apology. And then it kind of just pretty much ended on that, which I loved. I love the ending because, you know, cancel culture is wrong. I will never say cancel culture is okay. Doing something like that, pretending to be, like, getting fame, notoriety, that stuff is objectively not, like, a good person objectively does not do that. So I think I liked that she was not, like, forgiven within the movie. I think after a couple of years, I think, maybe not even years, a couple months, like, you know, I do believe in forgiveness, so she should be forgiven. And even at the moment she did it, she could have been forgiven. But I like that she was not, like, welcomed back. I was like, oh, it's okay. Because it's not okay. People, when you do something that crazy, that outlandish, taking money from people, like, having all this stuff, you should receive a consequence. That is not okay. You know, there's a difference between those influencers that are actually faking their travel life, pretending like they are making all this money when they really don't. Like, there's that. And then there's, like, doing that and then, like, profiting from that in the sense of, like, I don't know, doing speeches, doing X, Y, and Z, and, like, that's not okay. And I guess that's the name of Not Okay, the movie. That's just not okay. I mean, I don't know how else to say it. Not okay. So I'm really, really glad that they ended it where she wasn't necessarily forgiven, especially by the girl who actually went through something. I think that was so messed up too, that, like, to me, that's awful. Awful. Okay, so thoughts in general. I thought the movie was, I mean, it definitely wasn't like a 10 out of 10, like, wow, so good, so deep, so thought. I think I'm sure you guys know those movies that are just random to watch, like, on a regular Saturday, Friday night. Like, it was a good one. Like, I didn't feel, it wasn't, like, awful, like, oh my god, this is a terrible movie, but it wasn't super good either. So, the TLG score from 1 out of 5, I'll give it a 3. I'm saying 3 as opposed to a 2 because it wasn't a lot of, like, it was just that one sex scene, which I appreciated. Back up. I appreciated it was only one sex scene. I wish there was none. And it wasn't, like, a super full-blown, like, you know, how some of these other shows do. So that was good. And it was a very compelling story. I really liked the plot. I think they could have done more with the plot. I think it could have maybe expanded a little bit more on, well, actually, I'm saying I think they could have done more, but maybe not, because I feel like they kind of went over, like, her personal life when why wasn't this a 5? I didn't go away feeling anything other than, like, she got what she deserved. You know, like, there's other movies that make you pull at your emotions and make you feel like this was great. I didn't necessarily go away feeling that way, but it wasn't a bad movie because I think and also too, like, it's kind of realistic. People do, like I said, we all know somebody like that. People do stuff like that. People do pretend to be this person, or they're very thirsty for attention, so they're doing X, Y, and Z. They're not really acting like themselves. It's not that far-fetched of an idea, and I think maybe that's also too why I'm giving it a 3, because it felt kind of realistic. I mean, she was obviously a caricature. There were tiny things that she did that were, like, a little bit like, okay, girl, you're a little awkward, but I also think that could have had a little bit to do with, like, the girl, that was playing her, she was an interesting actress. I don't know how I feel about her. She's been in other stuff. Let me look her up real quick. Her name is Zoe Dutch. Oh, she's 27. Her birthday's November 10th. She's just a couple days older than me. Crazy. Okay, let me go to her Wikipedia page. Is this still? Yes. Okay. I feel like I've seen her before. I'm trying to think of anything. Okay, I haven't really seen her. Oh, y'all, she's Maya from Sweet Life on Deck. Okay. Yes. That's where I know her from. She's Maya from Sweet Life on Deck. So, wow, that's crazy that she played this character. But anyway, so maybe that was just like her. I'm not saying she was a bad actress, but like I don't know. She made the character very unlikable, and I guess that was the purpose, like, especially at the beginning, well, throughout the whole movie, but especially at the beginning, just to show that she was not, like, a cool person. She was very, unlikable. She was just trying too hard. And I think, like, that's just a tiny lesson in general. What I've noticed and what I'm working on is, like, nobody likes the person who's trying too hard. You really do have to be yourself. I know that feels so, like, cliche, like, be yourself. But, like, the reality is people don't like fake. So it's going to be obvious when you're not being yourself, and it's going to be known. Like, it's going to come out. Eventually, the world is going to know that you're not yourself, and that's just not a good look. No one wants to be around that person who's being fake. No one wants to be around that person who is pretending to be something that they're not. I know I certainly don't like to be around that person. And I think, like, that's what she was embodying. She was embodying the person who is trying so hard to be in this clique, trying so hard to be part of this, who wants fame so badly. And I mean, we all do, let's be honest. Like, let's not lie to ourselves. Everybody would like to have a little bit of fame, a little bit of fortune. Not necessarily like Kim Kardashian level. I certainly do not want to be as famous as them. But, you know, a small little internet celebrity sounds fun. But the point is, though, you gotta do it being yourself, because here's the other thing, too. She would have to keep lying and lying and lying and lying and lying. And after a while, you can't keep up with your lies. And after a while, you gotta keep being that person. And I'm sure it's exhausting. Being a fake person seems so exhausting. So exhausting. So yeah, so TLG Score is 3. If you want to watch it, I think it's a great, like, I would have loved to watch it with some friends too. Just like, hey, I saw this movie, grab some popcorn, let's watch this. I think it's a great movie for that too. Just a fun little random girls' night for sure. Yeah, so this is the first episode, a random movie. I'm gonna try to do one a week and have other girls on so we can have a little bit more dialogue. So like I said, this was just like a 20-minute episode. We'll just have a little bit more dialogue and like maybe a little bit more opinions on it. If you really like this movie, like reach out. We're gonna post this on the Those Other Girls Media Instagram. And you can write in the comments if you saw it, what you rated it, all that other stuff too. Yeah, just let me know what you thought of the movie. And then also too, you can email hello.thoseothergirls@gmail.com if you have other movie suggestions, or if you're listening and you kind of want to talk about a movie or something you like, we can see if that's possible. We can try to maybe make a connection. I don't know. We'll see. So yeah, that's it. Ciao.